Hi, I'm Alan McInally, former professional football player and Sky Sports Soccer Saturday pundit, and I'm delighted to welcome you to Betsafe's weekly Premier League preview. This is the first one of the whole season that we're going to be doing it, and I'm delighted to say with me, not just for today but for the whole season as well, will be ex-Arsenal and Manchester City striker Paul Dickov. Paul, welcome.
How are you,
We're at the Etihad Stadium, the home of Manchester City, and of course this is Betsafe's official betting partner. Both are together for this season, and so are you and I. And remember, of course, every week throughout the season we'll be previewing round by round action with our top tips, predictions, and of course Betsafe's best odds for all the markets, weekly specials, including our treble. We will have a top treble, maybe not for the first week, we'll maybe throw it in at the end here, but there will be best odds on Paul's treble, 3 teams to win on the Saturday or the Sunday, and of course mine as well. And hopefully that'll help your sportsbook wallet and Betsafe. And delighted to say, of course, on behalf of Betsafe, they're the official partner of Manchester City. There's a lot to get through today. We'll start with the new managers. We've just been writing them down actually. I said there was 8 million new managers, but there's really only...
Well, there's 8. I can't remember a season, any season, going into it, but 8 new managers.
Terrible.
You know, we know about City, United, Chelsea, then there's Everton, Sunderland, Hull, Southampton, Watford, you know, so it's going to make it really interesting. And you know, the big ones are obviously Conte at Chelsea, Guardiola here at City, and Jose over the road. It's going to make it, I think, the most anticipated, exciting season.
I get excited at the start of the season. I mean, we did when we were players. You get excited, the anticipation is high, but I don't know whether it's because of the new managers, which is going to be some of the Friday afternoon press conferences. The anticipation for this season is going to be absolutely incredible, regardless of the new signings. There is.
The managers are the tip of it as well, Al. But from my point of view, I think what Leicester done last year has made every other club. You know, you talk about the top 4, but I think it's a top 6 or 7 now.
Yeah.
Made them that more determined this year going into the season. You know, because Leicester, they ended up running away with it last year. You know, and it embarrassed a lot of the big clubs. Yeah, you know, your Cities, your Uniteds, and your Chelseas. Yeah. So I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
Should be good. New signings. There's been plenty of them. Pick one. Well, let's start here at Manchester City. I've got just a list with us: Gundogan, Nolito, Zinchenko, Sane, Gabriel Jesus. You'll have probably seen them pre-season.
Yeah, I did. You know, I was over in Gothenburg last week and seen them. John Stones, who they've just signed as well.
Sorry, John, I forgot about
you know,
just the 49 mil.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see Leroy Sane. You know, I've watched a bit of him over in Germany, as you all know as well. Absolutely. You know, he's quick in Pep Guardiola's teams, and they've always played with quick wide players. You know, and he held the record for the most dribbles in the league last year. You know, so he's going to be an exciting player. And you know, talking about players coming in, I genuinely think of City last year, and you can count in one hand the amount of times that Aguero, De Bruyne, Vincent Kompany with his injuries, David Silva all started in the same team. Yeah, you know, so as much as it's exciting with all these new guys coming in and having Pep here, if they can keep the 4 guys fit, I can't see City being far away.
No. Well, I mean, to be fair, we can't just talk about Manchester City. There's a lot of other teams in the league, obviously. Can you think of anybody else without the Pogba scenario at Manchester United? Is there a key signing at some of the other football clubs you can think of?
Well, you can put Ibrahimovic into that as well. You know, he's going to be box office all year. You know, in his pre-season, he's already scoring goals. The one that sticks out for me is Ahmed Musa at Leicester.
Like him.
Yeah, you know, he's very, very quick. He's only 23. He's got over 50 caps for his country already. You know, and he's got pace to burn. So him and Vardy up front. Musa can play wide as well. He's one that slightly went under the radar with a lot of people, but you know, he showed against Barcelona pre-season. He scored a wonderful goal. What he's all about.
I'm going to throw in Kante. I think he was not the reason, absolutely, that Leicester won the league. There's a couple others, obviously. But I think him for Chelsea in that kind of team, I think they might be there or thereabouts this season. They'll be pretty good. And I'm bursting to see West Ham as well, because I think the expectation at West Ham with the new stadium, they've started relatively well, and he's also bringing in a couple of new players. I think West Ham might surprise a few people.
Yeah, they did last year.
Yeah.
You know, and it was only because of the achievements of Leicester. It slightly went under the radar a little bit. But Slaven Bilic, fantastic manager, and I agree with you. I fancy West Ham to do well.
Should be an exciting season for sure. Remember, get it all here, the best odds, best prices on Betsafe, and hopefully Paul and I will put you in the right direction. Also, every now and again we'll have a guest with us as well, so we'll have another perspective on it. Betsafe, best price treble this week: Chelsea, Leicester, Man United 11-2. Would
you
take that?
That sounds good to me. No, I fancy Leicester strongly at Hull. Hull.
I had the fixtures here. I've lost the fixtures. Carry on.
Hull without a manager at the minute. I know Mike Phelan's in there, caretaker. Not signed any players. And Leicester have got the momentum from last season, being champions. Fancy them strongly, I think.
Well, they go to Hull as the first game of the season, don't they?
Yeah.
I'll just give you a thing. Hull 3-1, draw 73, Leicester 21-10. It's actually quite a big price.
It is, but Leicester all day long for me on that one. And Bournemouth, Man United going down there. I think obviously with Jose, Ibrahimovic, Pogba. I can see United, although I don't really want to say it, doing
well, let's talk about Bournemouth just briefly then. I mean, they had an unbelievably brilliant season. Eddie Howe's been fantastic.
Yep. Do
they survive again, or is it about let's make sure we're in the league next season?
I think it's make sure they're in the league next year. I think they had a wonderful season last year, and Eddie's done great taking them from League One, Championship, into the Premier League and keeping them up. It's an unbelievable achievement in itself. But in the second season, a lot of clubs seem to struggle a little bit, and I hope they do well, but I think they might struggle this year.
Now, the reason I've got a little intrepidation about the treble, 11-2 again, Betsafe, best price 11-2, Chelsea against West Ham, and I've already thrown the grenade in the first day of the season that I think West Ham could cause a few problems, but Chelsea are at home, 8-13 Chelsea, 3-1 the draw, West Ham 49-10. Do they still open the day of the season? Is it a Chelsea win?
I think Chelsea will just nick it. Obviously Conte is a fantastic manager. Everybody's seen the work that he's done previously. Juve and in Italy. The signing of Kante, Batshuayi, and the Belgian lad up front. He's a player as well. And the one thing Chelsea have got, we all know they had a poor season last year, as did many clubs, but they've got a group of players who know how to win the league. They've still got Costa, Hazard, top players, Willian, John Terry, Gary Cahill, so they've got a lot of character in there, and they'll feel they've got a real point to prove.
Absolutely. Right, we'll just go to remember this is our Betsafe weekly Premier League preview. Delighted to say this is going to be our first one, and hopefully we can point in the right direction, and Paul and I will be here all season with you. Palace against West Brom. Palace 19-20, just the shades of odds on, 23-10 the draw. West Brom 72. Big price.
It is a big price, and I know we're going to go into this later on. I worry for West Brom this year. They struggled to score goals last year. There's still a big doubt over Berahino whether he's going to stay or not. And towards the end of the last season, they did struggle a little bit, and they've not really strengthened that much. Palace, I thought, had a great season last year.
And as we speak, incidentally, just as we're recording this for you to watch on Betsafe, Balassi might be leaving Crystal Palace. Now that won't help them.
30 million. That's ridiculous. But Balassi's a big player for them, but they have got punching, they have got Zaha, pace in the wide areas, and especially at Selhurst Park, the fans there make an unbelievable atmosphere going down there.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah, and they make it difficult for the away teams to go there. So I'll go with Crystal Palace.
I must admit, they won them a treble this week, and we haven't got the treble odds for you, but we'll get them for them next week. Palace is one of my bankers of the thing, so that you can lose your money, right? The sports book will be empty if you stay with me. I just want to backtrack just a little bit when we talked about Yannick Balassi maybe moving for 30 million. Pogba, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. John Stones 50 million as well.
I quite like that. I know 50 million is a lot of money. The only thing with me for John Stones, he can play. He's been taught to play, and that's good. Can he be taught to defend better?
Well, I remember when Gerard Piqué was a young kid at Man United, and he went to Barcelona, and it was the same thing as what people are saying about John Stones, that he can't defend, positionally he's poor. And Pep, he worked with him, made him one of the best centre halves in the world, and he done it at Bayern Munich as well. With Jerome Boateng.
Yeah,
there was big question marks about that, and I just think John Stones coming here under Pep is the perfect fit. I really do for John.
Does Pogba make the difference in Manchester United then, along with obviously Ibrahimovic and Rooney, etc., etc.?
I think he's a fantastic signing. I know it's a lot of money, and he had a bit of a dodgy Euros where he wasn't in top form, but he's played in the Juventus team the last 4 years and been their main player when they've been winning the league, and I think he's a fantastic, exciting player. Box to box, probably not had. United haven't had anybody like that since the Scholes, since the Beckham and Roy Keane. There's somebody that's going to dominate the game in the middle of the park, and that's what he'll do.
Everton against Spurs. It's a belter of an opening day season, by the way, isn't it? Everton, odds on 19-20, 23-10 to draw. Spurs 3-2, so just odds against. I think this is a toughie to call.
It is, especially when we're talking about the new managers. Ronald Koeman's first game, and he'd done a phenomenal job down at Southampton. Obviously bringing Ashley Williams in. Defensively, it's going to make them stronger as well.
Is it 2 years, 3 years too late?
I think if they want somebody that's going to come in be a character for the next couple of years, which it looks like he's 31 now.
Paul, I was banging on 3 years ago. I thought he was different class for Swansea. They won the League Cup, and he was absolutely sensational. And I couldn't believe, for the love of, with the greatest respect to Swansea, who have done fantastically well, incidentally, with Guidolin, just staying in the division when it looked a little bit like that, when they got rid of their manager. And I was amazed that nobody took him a couple of years ago, and it's taken till now, 31, that Koeman's decided, no, we'll take him.
Yeah, I'm with you in that one. He was linked with Arsenal for I think 3 or 4 years, and
you and I have been linked with Arsenal for 25 years. He won't spend any money. He keeps thinking it's his money to spend.
Yeah, I know, and if they want to progress, just slightly going off a little bit, they're going to have to spend. They've picked up injuries pre-season, but Ashley Williams for me going to Arsenal, the sort of centre half that they need at the minute would have been perfect. But I think it's a great signing for Everton,
especially with the injuries they get. We'll get to Arsenal in a minute. Anyway, Everton Spurs. I think I might sit in the fence here. I might go draw.
I'm going to stick my neck out and go Spurs. I really like the look of them.
Well, while we're on Spurs then, do they have the same sensational season as last year, albeit they just dropped a little short?
I think they'll be looking to kick on. I think they've got a fantastic manager. They really do, and I think signing Victor Wanyama is a really good signing. I think they'll be really difficult to play against, and obviously going forward, Harry Kane, the goals that he's got, and got a lot of attacking flair players as well.
Fullbacks.
They play like wingers.
Aye.
They're right up the pitch and they cause a lot of problems, and I think Spurs will do well, and I fancy them just to nick it on Saturday.
Borough against Stoke, the team that's just come up, 5-4, draw 11-5. Stoke 5-2. Stoke 5-2.
I know.
As Betsafe give us the best odds again there to entice me in, 5-2 Stoke I think is a big price.
It is a big price, but Middlesbrough, under Ayator Karanka, who's a fantastic manager. I've had the pleasure of being in his company a few times. Very intelligent.
We look actually who they've brought in.
They've made some good signings, Al.
So I've got Fisher, they bought Espinosa from Sporting Gijon for free right enough. Having said that, they've only spent less than 20 million. I know that Martin Durun and he's cost 12 million.
Yeah, but Fisher's a good player from Ajax. Young player, a lot of experience out there. Obviously Victor Valdez, in goal, who's got all the experience in the world. But Ayator sets his teams up very difficult to play against. They do, and out of the 3 teams that have came up, I expect Middlesbrough to do the best out of all of them. And up against Stoke on Saturday, Premier League football back in Middlesbrough again. The place is going to be jumping, and I think I'll fancy a draw in that one for me.
Yeah, well, I think I'm with Stoke all day long. I think what Mark Hughes has done there has been good. I think the players he's got as well, I think they'll hit the ground running, Stoke. I really do. In fact, I was maybe a little disappointed they didn't finish the season a little stronger, because some of the players they've got going forward are good.
Yeah,
really
no,
good.
They are. And
I like the goalie. Boy, Jack Butler's done fantastically well.
Yeah, they're a good team, and he's made some really good signings, Mark.
Well, Betsafe have thrown me in there. I know this is the very first weekly preview of the Premier League, Betsafe, but they've already tempted me with that 5-2 Stoke. Burnley against Swansea. Burnley 29-20. The draw 94, which I think will be pretty popular with Betsafe, and Swansea 21-10.
I think Burnley coming back into the Premier League, being at home and against, just touching, Swansea have just lost their captain, biggest influence in their team. On the first day, I fancy Burnley to get a little win there.
Me too. I mean, I think Sean Dyche has done an unbelievable job. He really
brilliant,
has.
Absolutely brilliant.
And what I like about Burnley, to be honest, nothing really phases Sean. I can remember when he spent money in, was it Gray?
Yeah, Andre Gray.
Andre Gray, and I was kidding him on. He said it was 20 million he spent. He went, was 20 million? It was only 6, but they made it out to be 9. It's as though they had a few quid to spend. But when he's gone into the market, he's taken somebody that's made a difference to the football team. He has,
but he doesn't change it around that much.
No.
He's got unbelievable faith in his players and how they play. They set up most weeks, if not every week, for the last 3 years in the 4-4-2.
Yeah, exactly.
2 banks of 4, difficult to play against. And with people like Andre Gray, pace on the counter attack. But
there's a new idea, 2 strikers up front.
I know.
There's a novel idea. I'm sure it would work with a lot of teams actually, rather than the.
Whoever thought of that?
Yeah, whoever thought of that? Incredible. I must admit, I do fancy Burnley on Saturday and Swansea. Big season for Swansea as well. I know they actually finished the season relatively well, but I think they'll do well to survive this year. Southampton and Watford. Watford with a new manager.
Both teams with a new manager.
Of course,
yeah. So both will be looking to hit the ground running. Watford, especially the first half of last season, were absolutely on fire and done well to stay up in the end.
Yeah, they did.
Be interesting to see how Gallo and Dini do again, because they were sensational for them last season.
Yeah.
And if you're going to stay up and stay in the division, you need your goal scorers to hit the ground running. Southampton, lost Pele, obviously lost their manager. Not really strengthened that much, but they're a good team, and it'll be interesting to see how they set up under the new manager as well.
So another one for me, it's tough to call. Southampton just odds on 45, obviously probably just because of home advantage.
It isn't saying draw with in this game for me, and I think Watford will be delighted if they can go their first game of the season and get a point on board away from home.
Absolutely. City at home to Sunderland. Remember, Paul and I did a Betsafe preview when Pep Guardiola was presented to the fans, and I reminded you then that if you opened an account on the day, you could have 10-1 Manchester City to beat Sunderland on the opening day of the season. So I hope, fingers crossed for you, that your sportsbook's going to be looking pretty good if you're taking 10s and obviously City win the game.
I think we both had a bit of that, Al, didn't
we?
Yeah,
exactly. I couldn't believe that's it. I opened 3 accounts that day under different names. Is it as simple that City are 3-13 draw, 70-13 Sunderland, a big 17-2 new manager David Moyes?
David Moyes, and up until today they only signed 2 players really, and Paddy McNair and young Donald Love. I can't see past Man City winning the game. Pep's first game,
Place will be bouncing
new signings, having De Bruyne fit, spoke about already, David Silva, Sergio Aguero. I just can't see past Man City. And, I was here a lot last year, and City, when they started fast, teams couldn't live with them. But there was a number of times where they were a bit lethargic in the first 20 minutes and made things really hard for themselves. I cannot see that happening under Pep Guardiola and how he plays.
There's just something on Betsafe we've got for you this year. Obviously, with being the official betting partner of Manchester City, there will be opportunities for you this season to have a little special. Manchester City, this is a season offer. Score, draw, refund. Betsafe will guarantee your money back if you bet on any Manchester City final score and get your money back if it ends in a score draw. So you've got a bet on the score, it ends in a score draw, Betsafe will guarantee your money back. Bournemouth United, we've touched on. Arsenal, Liverpool.
What a game that is to start the season.
Oh my word.
Isn't it?
And he's under also, it's unfair really, we haven't kicked the ball yet, but he's under a bit of pressure, Arsene Wenger, for the simple reason he's had injuries, he's not really spent any money. Can they win the title? Can they get top 4? Can they beat Liverpool in the opening day of the season?
For me, Arsenal, and we've been saying it for years, been crying out for a centre forward. I think Giroud, to be fair to him, does a good job for them. But to have that 25 marquee signing at centre forward, they've needed it for a few years, and I'm amazed that they've still not done it. And now they've picked up, Mertesacker, Gabriel, centre half areas. They're struggling a bit as well. So going into the first game of the season against a Liverpool team who have looked really sharp in pre-season, and I know Klopp, they're all talking about Klopp, Conte, Guardiola and Mourinho. The one thing that Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp have got over the other new managers coming in is he's been in there already for 8 months, and he's been able to stamp his philosophy on right the way through the club, and I think it's going to be a tough one for Arsenal on Sunday. I really do. I
do as well. I need to go with you. I mean, there's not an awful lot in it. Maybe the draws, the value in the bet with Betsafe, but I just think I'm with you. I think this could be a really difficult. If they lose their opening three games of the season, Arsenal, people will really point the finger. And there's also there's been loads of forums, etc., that they think that Arsene Wenger hasn't done the job he should be doing at Arsenal, and they think that top 4 is a success. Now, to a certain extent, it is a success, but I'm going to track back a little bit as well and say success surely then for Arsenal specifically because they haven't won the title. United and City and maybe Chelsea, it really has to be the title. I
think all 4 clubs
with the money they're spending,
the money they're spending, and Arsenal, I think it's a great achievement qualifying for the Champions League 20 odd years or whatever it is.
But do you know the problem I've got with that, sorry to interrupt, qualified every year for 100 years for the Champions League, never won it.
No, I know.
So
and people are going to start asking questions, and they are going to start, they are asking questions about why they're not investing big in the team if they want to win the league. Now, to me, do they want to win the league? Because if they wanted to go out and get a Pogba or get...
But they obviously do. They obviously do at the start of the season. Arsenal want to win the league, but for whatever reason they fall short. Now surely Arsene Wenger, who's a very, very experienced man, and by the way,
fantastic.
I think he's different class.
Yeah, fantastic.
But there's something, I don't know, there's a few players used to get the red mist. I think he gets it when he opens a chequebook and it goes in his eyes and he doesn't spend anything. He doesn't really... I know they brought Granit Xhaka in, who's a good player. But that's not really where I think Arsenal have to strengthen.
They've been strong in midfield anyway, so to bring another midfielder in. The one thing I will say about Arsene Wenger is and I mean this in a good way, he's very stubborn. He won't go out and spend over the odds. in an inflated market.
No.
You know, you could say we've spoke already about 30 million Balassi. I'm sure a Balassi would do well at Arsenal, but Arsene Wenger doesn't think he's worth that money. He won't go and spend it.
Well, hopefully we've set you in the right direction there about the fixtures, the opening day of the season. Hull, Leicester, Palace, West Brom, Everton, Spurs, etc, etc, etc. So good luck to whatever you decide on you've gone. I've got a couple of specials here as well. City to win the Premier League and Champions League, 49-1.
Wow.
They could give us 50s, couldn't they? Why
Yeah.
49? Would that be something? I mean, Champions League will be tough this year.
I think it will be. You know, I expect City to win the league. I do, and that's not just because obviously ex-player and fan and all that. I think as the season goes on, and the more Pep gets them the way he wants to play, they'll do it. But the Champions League is a big ask. You know, you've still got Barca, you've still got Bayern Munich, you've still got Madrid. You know, and they're all top. If they could get through to the semi-final like they did last year, I think, and it would be a big achievement for them.
Exactly. I'm just saving some Betsafe prices here. This is one you'll like. Manchester City to do the league double over Manchester United, 5-1.
I'll take that all day long.
You don't think that's quite skinny?
Well,
I think United are going to be stronger this year.
Yeah, I do. Without a doubt, they'll be stronger. With Jose, and you know, we spoke about Pogba and.
Sorry, did I say skinny? I thought that fives is really good. Sorry, I take that back. I'm giving you the wrong information.
Yeah.
I think fives is good because I think that Man United are going to be stronger.
Yeah, but that, you know, the derby games, you've played in some of the biggest ones with the Celtic Rangers. You can never tell what's happening. But I think I think that's a good price.
Remember, official betting partner of Manchester City. That's the reason why I've popped them in. Okay, we've got a few season outrights. Relegation. I had it here in front of me. I meant to go relegation. Hull 70-10, Burnley 19-20, Middlesbrough 95. Is there any maybe you think need to be very careful? It goes right to Watford 2s, West Brom 5-2, which I think you already mentioned actually.
Yeah, I think I fancy Middlesbrough to stay up. I really do. I think they're the most equipped to the three teams that got promoted. I'm worried about West Brom. You know, I said that before. I just think they struggle to score goals a little bit. I think Tony Pulis has done a great job there, regardless. But I think they could get sucked into it. And for me as well, Swansea, with losing Ashley Williams, who's the heartbeat of the club, you know, they struggled towards the end last year.
I wouldn't disagree with you there, wee man. Absolutely. Winning the league: City 12-5, United 3-1, Chelsea 11-2, Arsenal 6s, should be more. Spurs 9-1, in my opinion. Spurs 9s, Liverpool 9s.
9s, I would swap that around with Arsenal.
Because I would honestly, genuinely wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool push for a top 4 this season. Is that too much?
Don't think it's too much, but I think they need to. You know, I think Klopp, they've done reasonably well last year at times, and getting to 2 cup finals and losing them both. I think the Liverpool fans will demand it, getting into the top 4. You know, they've got one of the top coaches in the world. They see themselves.
Mane signs. Mane from Southampton.
Very good signing. Hopefully keeps Sturridge fit. Coutinho's getting better all the time. You know, so I think Liverpool will expect to be in the top 4.
And defensively, they bought the boy in Joel Matip from Schalke, who's very good and can defend, by the way. And he's he'll be good at set pieces, for and against, but he's a defender.
He's a proper old school defender as well. He can play, but he'll head it, he'll kick it, he'll get his blocks in. I thought it was a really good signing.
The only thing for me is Liverpool's the goalkeeper still. I still think it's a weak position for Liverpool.
McInally out injured as well. That's somewhere that I feel that they had to strengthen to get it done, because too many times last year that's what let them down.
Leicester to win the league, 28-1.
It's better than the 5,000-1 than they had it last year.
But they've kept, apart from Kante, who I think's a big miss for them.
It is, but the lad Mendy they've brought in is very, very similar to him. You know, and people are saying that Mendy and Musa, they've not really heard of these sort of players before, but nobody had heard of Kante last year.
No, absolutely.
Mahrez and all the players that have came through. And I think it's, you know, people are saying that they'll do well to stay up. I think that's ridiculous. I think they'll do well. You know, if they finish in the top 10, I still think they've done well this year. This
is a great bet that Betsafe have given us, and I really like this one because I like something. Because I have a lot of half-time bets, so I've got the first 45 minutes to look after, and then be disappointed for the second 45 minutes. Top at Christmas. City 2s, United 72, Chelsea 11-2, Arsenal 6s, Liverpool 8-1. Now Liverpool to win the league were 9s. Now Liverpool to be top at Christmas 8-1. Spurs 9s. I don't know. Just for something, just for an extra little bit.
It's going to be interesting for me anyway. You know how quickly City and United and Chelsea hit the ground running under the new managers.
Would 11-2 top at Christmas for Chelsea?
I think that's a great price.
And I
think Liverpool is at 8s as well. You know, City, United are always going to be everybody's favourites, just purely because of the two managers and the signings that they've made. But top at Christmas, that's a great bet.
Top scorer, naturally you would imagine Aguero hits the top, 72. Kane 13-2, Ibrahimovic 8, Vardy 31-2, Costa 15, Giroud 21, and Sanchez 21-1. I think, is Aguero just nailed on?
If they can keep him fit.
I mean, 72, is he just nailed on?
I think so, but they have to keep him fit. You know, I think he only finished 2-3 goals behind Kane last year, and he missed a third of the season.
Yeah.
You know, so if they can keep him fit all the way through this year, I can't see past Sergio Aguero on that one.
Might be a big price, because after all, he is quite simply a goal machine. If City are going to win the league, then you would think they might have a good chance. One little one to go, the sack, which is a terrible one to do. First man to get the sack, Walter
Mazzarri. To me a couple of times already, mate.
You were 46, but I've taken you off the... obviously, best price here on Betsafe, and remember Betsafe, the official betting partner of Manchester City. Walter Mazzarri, 4-1. He's at Watford. Francisco Guidolin at Swansea, 5-1. Sean Dyche, 11-2, which incidentally, I think you could have 100-1. I think I might lay you that.
Never going to
Pulis 9s at West Brom. Aitor Karanka 9-1 at Middlesbrough, and I'm only throwing that one in because he already had a little bit of a bust up. Remember, he walked out last season for a couple of games and then came back in, etc., etc. With anything there, first manager, it's not a nice one, but it's also a bet we can have in the season.
I think that the one that stands out there is probably Walter Mazzarri, only because of the record that the owners have got of going through managers. Yeah, exactly. You know, so if they don't start well, you would worry for him.
West Brom with new owners as well.
New owners as well.
Throwing Tony Pulis.
Yeah, you know, just going to say that they're under new owners, if they don't start well, you know, I've seen it myself. New owners come in, managers can get sacked very quickly. Just hope for Tony's sake that they can start well. Yeah,
I think they would need to start well, wouldn't they? Exactly. Well, listen, I hope that's put you in the right place. We've covered quite a lot there. There's some special bets, obviously, throughout the season you're going to have with Betsafe. And this is about time. Don't forget to join us throughout the season with our top tips for Champions League as well. Paul and I will be here. World Cup qualifiers, including Facebook Live Match Day. Tips on specific fixtures, which you can get on Betsafe Facebook page. Our trebles is going to be coming on. We'll do it next week, although I've thrown a couple in. I think I said Palace, Burnley and Liverpool, I think I said might be a treble. Have a little look at that on the Betsafe website. And from myself, Alan McInally and Paul Dickov, thanks for watching. Keep it here with Betsafe. We will see you all season long.